Hello, everybody. It's blank. What? That's because it's How To Tuesday. My name is Eve. This is Eve's Creations Paint Party, and tonight we're practicing how to paint wood, like how to make it look like wood on your canvas. So, we're going to have fun with that tonight. It's a practice session, so there's no actual painting, and I'm going to teach you guys some tricks that I know. I'm self-taught. And make your paintings that much better. Of course, we got to give props to you-know-who. There he is, the man of the hour, doing his thing, getting a little snacky snack. Sorry to your fans, buddy. All right, and let me show you my handy-dandy table. The handy-dandy table with all the stuffs on it. So, same colors, every single party. Black, blue, yellow, red, and white. I've got a whole cup full of brushes here. I'll let you know what I'm using when I'm using it, right? So you take your brush, you dip it in the water, you give it a little swirl, a tap, dab on your paper towel. You want to make sure your bristles are wet but not dripping. So, and of course the Java. I'm almost done with my Java. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, guys, so I'm going to put you guys in your handy-dandy holder. Right, Tina B? Hello, Tina B. Say hello if you're painting with us tonight. Let me know if anyone's practicing with us tonight. Let me know if you're new to the fam. We'll give you a big, warm welcome. Hello, Tina M. Hi. So, I'm going to put you guys in your handy-dandy holder. I'm working on a 16 by 20 canvas. I have it 20 this way, 16 straight up and down. Like I said, tonight's a practice session. So whatever you're working on, you know, whatever you could slap paint on, it's going to be fine. Let me move you back a little bit. Move it back. Move it back. Cynthia's here. Hello, Cynthia. So I got my two Tinas, my Tina B and my Tina M. And we've got Becky. Hello, Becky. And Cynthia, and Tina M, and Tina B. I'm writing everything down because I can't remember a thing. So, hello, everybody. Hi. And just remember, my videos are all kid-friendly, so if you guys could watch your comments, I'm going to try to watch this thing. We'll be all set. Stars is enabled. What? We got the stars going on. Yay. That's finally working. So, we're going to get... Oop. I could help if I don't put my finger in front of the camera. So, we're going to get started here. I got to make brown. Right? Good old making brown. We just love to make brown, don't we? We just love it 6,000%. Love making brown. Okay, so I'm going to take my big boy brush here. He is a 1-inch flat. Everybody will be chiming in soon. Oh, thank you, Cynthia, so much for the stars. Thank you, Becky, for the shares. That 6,000% works too. Those of you that are not familiar with stars, they're, how much are they? They're a penny each. Okay, so just so you know what you're clicking. I don't want anybody clicking something that they don't want to be clicking, so that's what you're clicking, okay? All right, so everyone's going to be popping on. I'm a little bit early. I'm sure we'll get some more peeps once it gets closer to 7, but while we're waiting, we're gonna mix some brown. All right, so I got red, and we got yellow. And I'm just going to make a, hello, Carolyn. I'm just going to make a big old mess with this. So I'm going to grab all my yellow. I'm going to grab all my red. And when you mix that together, you're going to get like an orange. All right. You're going to get like an orange color. And then when you add the white to it, it's going to start looking peach. It's going to start looking peach. Okay. And then I'm going to, little increments at a time, I'm going to add some blue. You could add blue, you could add black, you could add whatever you want to add. And if it's looking too green, then you want to add more red. If it's looking too purple, you want to add more yellow. I kind of basically have what I want. I'm going to give it a few more scoops here. But I'm not over blending. Remember, we like all those different colors so they show up on the canvas. See what a mess my brush is. Hello, Carolyn. Hi, sweetheart. So, we want our brush to be that big old mess. We want it to do the work for us. So I'm going to fill this whole thing in. I'm going to fill in this whole canvas and see how it's doing dark and lights for me already. I didn't have to do a thing. And if I stick and move, I won't lose those. If you keep brushing over it, see, big old mess. If you keep brushing over it, then you're going to wind up losing that because it's all going to blend. It's all going to blend out. So this is kind of like the color that we had for the peacock painting, 6,000%. So now for the how-to event page, I did post that cabin. I did do a how-to on cabins already. I just posted, it's a really cool picture that I happened to take, an old abandoned building, and it was made out of wood. So that's why I posted that picture. But I'm gonna you're gonna have a nice background once I show you how to do everything. You're gonna have like an awesome background to put something on top of it if you want to, because it's just gonna look like slats of wood. And I decided I'm not gonna do the building. I was thinking about it, and then I was like, nah, because I did do a how-to cabins, and I'm not gonna do the building because there's certain details I want to show you, and if I do the building, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be too far away and you wouldn't see those details. So that's why we're doing the whole canvas, and we're going to make this into slats of wood going across. That's what we're doing tonight. So I hope everybody's practicing along with me. Cindy's in the house. Hello, 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 Cindy. How you doing, sweetheart? Right, so if you're a watcher, you're just watching and learning, awesome. If you're a painter, that's cool too. If you're being a creeper, we love you. We love you, all those creepers out there that are not saying hello. It's okay. We love you anyway. It's all good. All right, so I'm still going to be filling this canvas up, right? Because I just want a base coat. I want a base coat of the brown. And like I said, I'm not over mixing. I got all this wonderful dark and light happening for me without even having to try. And as long as I keep sticking and moving, I hope I made enough brown to cover this canvas. Hello, hello, hello. Donna, how you doing, sweetheart? Hi, Helen. How are you, love? So, thank you for tagging your sister, Donna. Appreciate that. So, yeah, I hope I made enough brown to cover this canvas. I was going to do grayscale, but I know some of you like want to know how to make the browns, and you're getting into mixing colors, so I wanted to show you. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. Yeah, I went with sparkly. I went with sparkles tonight. I don't know if you could see, but there's like little sparkles up there. And a pretty sparkly like coral lipstick. I figured spring. It's like a little spring. Oh no! Healing prayers to Donna, everybody. She's got the ickies. She's got the ickies. 'Tis the season for the ickies, right? Those allergies are gonna get us. They're gonna wear us down, and little sickies are gonna come in. So healing wishes to you there, Donna. Healing wishes. All right, so I'm almost out of the brown I made. Look, I'm getting like every last little piece off of this palette here to see if I can get this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get this. So I have to grab more yellow paint and do it again. And do it again. All right, so those of you who are just popping on, I'll show you how I made the brown. So I'm going to grab red, whatever red's left on my palette. I'm going to grab yellow. You get like an orange color. You grab some white. You get like a peach color. And then you grab a microscopic amount of blue and you add that in. If it's looking too green, you add more red. If it's looking too purple, you add more yellow. If it's looking like light blue, you want to add more red and more yellow, because you just went a little You went a little happy with the blue paint, that's all. So, it's a play thing. You just keep playing. You just keep scooping all those different colors. Now, this is a nice brown, but I want it to be the orange brown, so I have to add more red and more yellow to this. I went a little too happy with the blue, so now I'm adding more red and more yellow. Okay, so we're just making a mess. See me? There's no scientific approach here. There's no, like, you know, formula. You just keep playing until you get the color you want. So that is closer to what I have going on. So we're gonna run with, oh, not too bad. Almoster. Looks good to me. Okay, and big old mess on my brush. We're not gonna over mix. And then this way, I get all this fun stuff going on. I get all this separation of color going on. And I didn't even have to work for it. And I just stick and move. And when you mix brown, for some reason, you kind of have to own it. So you have to, you can't keep painting over it while it's wet. If you keep trying to paint over this while it's still wet, it's going to wind up lifting off of the canvas. I don't know why it does that, but it does. I'm putting Big Boy in the water now. I'm going to say hi to everybody again. I don't know why it does that. So just keep that in mind. You gotta put it on there, play with it a little bit, and then leave it alone. Because if you don't leave it alone, it's going to lift off of the canvas and you're going to have even a bigger problem. Okay? So you kind of have to own it. Not kind of. You do have to own it. Alright, guys? So, 6,000%. I'm going to let this dry a little bit. Like I said, I just gave that speech that you can't play with it too much. Purples do that too. Yes, purple is another one that does that. Not really sure why. Maybe because it's a combination of so many colors. I mean, if I put the yellow, it sticks. If I put the red, it sticks. For some reason, when I put the four colors together, it doesn't want to stick anymore. Hello, Lisa B. How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? But we're going to be working with all different sorts of brown colors today, so I'm not too worried about it. And there's going to be a lot of extra coats because we're going to add shadowing and all sorts of stuff. So the main thing is just to get a base coat on there. Your neck hurts. Oh, no. All right. Healing wishes to Lisa B. Right? I hate that. I hate when you wake up. I hate when you wake up and you have like, you don't realize how much you use your neck until you get a kink in your neck. And then you get a kink in your neck and then you're like all day, you're like, I can't move my head. I don't know why that is. It's terrible. My eyelashes are like crazy long tonight. They're actually hitting my glasses. So I guess whatever stuff I used worked. Yeah, that's like the worst because you don't realize how much you use your neck until you hurt yourself, until you wake up with that kink. All right, so I'm swirl tap dabbing Big Boy. I'm just getting the globs out of him. You know, I don't have to worry about him being super, super clean. You have a heating pad on. Yeah, that helps keep it loose. And we got my brown in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of black. Okay, and I'm going to grab that brown color, and I want to do the slats, right? I want to do the slats. So I have this, and I'm going to do a little dab here, because I want to make sure it's darker. I need a little more black. I'm going to do a little dab here, just to make sure it's a darker brownish color. Okay. And we're going to go across. Alright, so hold your brush back here, put it directly up against your canvas, right, perpendicular to the canvas, straight on, and you're just going to pull across. Now, if anybody has trouble pulling across, remember I showed you guys the trick. I got to move you guys back more so you can see the whole thing. Remember I showed you guys the trick of you can turn your canvas straight up and down. and go from top to bottom if you're not so good with going across. All right, holding it back here, putting it on here, and swoop. Just pull. Faster you pull, straighter it's going to be. That's it. I'm going to grab some more paint. Make sure it's right on the edge of my brush. I'm going to come down a little further. Swoop. And pull. Okay, there we go. 6,000%. Do it again. Straight up against the canvas. And pull. There we go. When I was saying pull, I was like thinking of like when they do the clay shooting with the little clay circle-y things. Yeah. So if you're not good with horizontal, just turn the canvas up and down and put your lines in that way. When I was saying pull just then, I was thinking of the little clay shooting that they used to do. So now that I got where they're going to be, I'm going to grab some more of that black and that brown. And if I want this to look like siding, right? If I want this to look like one is on top of the other, on top of the other, what you want to do is you got to add some shading. So I'm going to grab that dark again. Okay, just mixing black with my brown. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to come up here and very, very lightly. How am I going to do it? Very, very lightly. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to lightly dust, very lightly, the shadow under that ridge. So if you notice, I didn't fill it in as a solid line. I didn't turn around and pull straight across. I did like a dusting. Right? I did like a dusting. And then what I want to do is I want to grab my original color and I'm going to go up to this dusting. I'm going to go right underneath it. Do some more dusting. I had a little too much paint on my brush. See that? How I got a glob right there? A little too much. So I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to wipe my brush because I had a little too much paint on it. And then between the two, I'm going to just kind of do like a little zigzag zoom action so it blends out. Alright, so that is how you get the shadow under the pieces. So that being said, on top, to make it even more prominent that this is high and this is low, is I'm going to grab my brown and I'm going to grab some more like the yellow right here. It's kind of all mixed up and mushy, but the yellow is going to make it a lighter brown. Alright, so I'm going to grab what I can off of my palette here. And maybe a tad of white. Just a tad. Remember, I said you don't always have to use white to make your colors lighter. You can use the lightest color in the combination. So, alright, on the brush, and again, a dusting. Just a dusting across the top piece now. And I'm holding my brush in the middle, and I'm doing sweeping motions. And my brush is dirty. I haven't cleaned it yet. That's why I'm getting all this separation. And then I just kind of want to clean it up a little bit. Just clean it up a little bit. Okay? And then where I need more, I just grab more paint. And I add a little bit more. And then soften it out. And then same process. I'm going to grab my base color now. Go on top of this lighter part with my base color. Okay, and then wipe my brush off. And then go in between the two, back and forth. And then you have the piece that's on top of the other piece. Clay pigeons that look nothing like pigeons. Yes, Cynthia, you were understanding what I was trying to talk about. And to finish this up, I'm going to grab the original paint, and whenever you do this, right, acrylic is all in layers. Hi guys, so I want to give you a close-up. See all that separation of color I'm getting? That's because I didn't overmix my paint, number one. Number two, I haven't cleaned my brush yet. All that stuff is hiding inside of my brush. And I'm doing those sweeping motions. And since my background is dry already, as I do this sweeping motion, it's not going to blend out. It's not going to blend out because the background is dry. Okay, so you're basically just adding, you're adding the other layer. And if you notice, I'm doing here, there, not everywhere. And I'm not pulling. I'm doing fluffy motions. Okay, guys? Hello, Diane. How you doing, sweetheart? All right, so that is the process. And I'm going to show you how to do that all the way down. Right, so you guys have something awesome to look at. Hello, Diane. How you doing? All right, and then I'm going to show you some more details. So let's do this all the way down, because now you have a dark into light transition. So that's going to be a little tricky. All right, and this dried already. So what do I have to do? I'm going to grab that dark. I'm going to grab that dark on my brush again. Okay, right, dark brown. And I'm going to sweep that in. So everything's sweeping. I'm going to sweep that in because I kind of lost it. Now I'm going to grab the base color, right? The color we started out with. Hi Susan, how you doing? I'm going to grab the base color, the color we started out with. All right, add that on. I'm going to wipe my brush off. Go in between the two. Okay, and now that that's wet again, now I can grab my lighter color and put that on. Grab my lighter color and put that on. All right, again, sweeping motions. And soften this all out. Now, it got a little dry on me, so I'm going to put my brush in some water, do a little dab, and then I can soften this all out, putting my brush in a little bit of water because it like dried instantly. I'm not really sure why that happened, but just doing a little touch of water on the tip of my brush, I could come in and soften this enough to where I can go through the entire thing. So now it looks like this board's on top of that board. Oh no, it keeps freezing. Frozen? Hello, Sharon. How you doing tonight? I don't know why we're freezing. Susan is here. We got Sharon and we got Susan. Everybody else is okay though? I hope so, because I don't know what to do. I'm not a button pusher. Don't know how to hit the buttons, guys. I know how to hit it to talk to you. That's about it. Alright, so I'm going to do the rest of it just like that. I gotta grab more yellow now. I should have just like made piles and piles of yellow and red on my palette because I'm going to need those. So I've already filled it twice. Alright, so we're just going to do it again, and we're going to do it again for the rest of these boards. Alright, so I'm going to grab my, I'm going to take my base color, and with a little bit of black, and I'm going to come under this line. Alright, I'm going to come under this line, do the darker brown. Okay, do the darker brown under this line. Then I'm going to go with the base color. Do that. Fill that in. Sweeping motions. Nice and easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Fill that all in, you know. Just doing a sweep. Nothing too crazy. And now, as I'm working my way down, I'm going to grab my yellow with my base color. And we're going to make the bottom part even lighter. Oh, that was a lot of yellow. Doesn't it look like the house was like painted yellow and then it's fading out? That's what it kind of reminds me of. Alright, so we got that going on. Alright, so the next board. Not freezing here. I suggest rebooting your PC, starting over, going in and coming. Yep, you guys are doing great suggestions there. Sounds good to me. Did you guys catch that? I totally deflected. Alright, next section. Okay, dark color. Bam, dark colors on my brush. Gonna go underneath my line. Underneath my line. Yes, we're gonna go under the line. Then I'm gonna grab the base coat. We're gonna go under that. And then I'm gonna grab my yellow with my base coat. And we're gonna go under that. And just like that, now you have the slats looking like there's one over the other. So I just grabbed black just now, and I'm kind of sweeping that in. So this guy's like really dark. Okay, and then I'm gonna come up. I gotta make more brown, so we're gonna do that, right? Yellow, red, smash, smash, orange color. Making a mess. We're making a mess. I love it. 6,000%. White. Right? Get a peachy color. Blue. Get a brown color. Or if it's too green, add more red. If it's too purple, add more blue. If it's too, no. If it's too purple, add more yellow. I don't know what I'm talking about. But now we got a nice dark brown color. And what I'm going to do with this is most of this is dry. Okay, so I want to show you. My brush is a mess. So I'm going to wipe off my brush and I'm going to put him in the water. And I'm going to grab, right, there's a lot of paint in Big Boy. Alright, so he's going to go in the water. And I want to show you the dry brushing. Okay, so dry brushing is exactly what I'm talking about. It's dry brushing. Alright, so your canvas has to be dry. Your brush has to be dry. Okay, so you're going to grab, I got to grab my soda real quick. Hold on. Hold up. I'm thirsty. Oh, my mouth gets so dry because I'm talking to all my peeps. Okay, guys, so ketchup, mustard a second. Here, got my soda. We got Becky in the house, Cynthia, Tina M, Tina B, Carolyn, Cindy, Donna, Helen, Lisa V, Diane, Sharon, and Susan. If I missed you, let me know. Cheers, everybody. So, I'm going to show you the dry. Now, if you're going to dry brush, pick a brush. See how this Big Boy's like really beat up? Pick one of your beat up brushes. Don't dry brush with a new brush because you're scratching, and it's gonna cause it. This is like my dry brush Big Boy, because I totally destroyed him. I mean, it took me a long time to destroy him, but I totally destroyed him. Sue is here. She's watching as she eats. What you eating, Sue? Anything good? All right. So dry brush, dry canvas. That's dry. Dry brush. Brown paint. So you want to dab a little paint on your brush, and then you want to take most of it off. So I'm going to dab, dab, dab on the side, and you just sweep across, but with everything dry. Close up. Hi, everybody. With everything dry, it's going to do like this breakaway. Okay, so I'm going to sweep and see how it's like breaking. It's not doing a solid thing. It's got like, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me give you a close-up. See how it's like breaking apart there and making all these lines? So, and it's a very little amount of paint. If you have too much paint, you're just going to get a solid blob. So, very small amount of paint, and everything's dry. And you just do the sweeping motion, and you get all of that separation that looks uber cool, right? So that is one of the ways I like to make things look like wood. And what I do is I do like dry brushing with a couple of different colors at once. So right now I'm just doing it with that one dark color that I made. And you can do a little rub too if you want to. That's why I said use a brush that you kind of killed. Because if you're going to do a little rub, you're going to wind up destroying your brush. But let me give you the full look and see how that looks like old wood now. So what I do is I actually do this with all different tones. So I got the dark brown here, and I'm going to add some, just for the sake of time, I'm going to add this lighter mess to it. And I'll make a pile over here. Okay, and then I gotta wipe my brush off because this is supposed to have a little bit of paint in it. So I'm gonna wipe my brush off. Right, and I'm gonna do a little scratch here like this and a wiggle. Do a wiggle. Okay, so you get all of the paint out of it. And I'm gonna do a little tap for a little bit of paint, and then lightly, how am I doing this? Lightly, you're just going to sweep. And now I'm doing the lighter pieces. So let me do some of these lighter pieces. And now I'm going to grab the darker brown and do that with it. And what happens is really cool. This really cool separation, and you can see the colors still underneath, and it just makes it look like old dry wood. So I'm gonna fill this in. I'm gonna grab the original brown and I'm gonna fill these in real quick. Right? So lightly sweeping. Okay, grabbing the lighter color, sweeping that. Alright, so let's do all the boards so they all look the same. And if you get a big glob, no worries, right? So you just kind of sweep over it a little bit, then leave it alone and let it dry, and I'll show you how to fix that in a second. Okay, so we're going to sweep on this one. Okay, and this is how you can make something look like it's whitewashed. Right, so you can turn around and make something look like it has a whitewash to it. So let me do that. So I'm just doing the lighter color. Okay, now I'm going to do the darker color. And no worries where like your shadow is that you put in before. You can grab black. Like you can have so much fun with this dry brushing stuff because you can just grab another color and like dry brush it in. Like the black is like really prominent. So I'm going to grab the original brown. The only thing is that if you play too much, now you're just into painting. You're not really dry brushing because all your paint is wet. All your paint is wet, so you're not dry brushing anymore because you're working with wet paint. So, you know, like, but that being said, you can have a lot of fun with this. And like just sweeping, I'm just sweeping, that's it. Like, you see how quickly my hand is moving across? And so that glob that happened before right here, now that it's dry, I'll just grab some of the original color, do a little tap, see, very little paint, guys, and I can come in here, and then I could dry brush the original color through it, and and it's gone, see? So, whitewashing, same thing. So, whitewashing, let's do some whitewashing. You guys want to see how to whitewash a piece of wood? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Alright, so big boys in the water. Okay, that's the dry brushing. Guys, ketchup mustard with that if you're playing along tonight. You can have a lot of fun with that. Making wood is really fun, and you know, it's nice and easy. Whitewashing. You can do the dry brush trick for whitewash. You just grab white paint very little white paint. Okay, I'm going to show you another way to do it, because I just wet both my brushes. So, like, you can take a fluffy brush. All right, I'm kind of all over the place right now, but anyway, that's okay. All right, so I got, because I want to show to you the dry brush. So I got Fluffy here, and Fluffy's awesome for doing this. So I got Fluffy. I'm going to grab my white paint. I'm going to do a little smush smush, and I'm going to come in here, and you can dry brush the white, and you'll get very prominent white marks. Okay, so some people love this, some people don't like it too much. I think it's kind of cool. Now I'm just gonna scrub, and I could scrub because this is a fluffy brush and it don't matter. So now another way, so this is kind of how, like, you would do a distressed look. This is how you would do a distressed look. So I'm just scrubbing now. That's all I'm doing. And sweeping and scrubbing and having fun and, you know, doing all that happy stuff. So you can do it that way. And then I grab my original base coat, do a little tap tap, and then mix that in. So you mix that in to kind of soften it out. Okay, so anywhere I had, like, where I first put the brush down, I'm just going to dry brush some of the original color through that. So this way, it's not all in my face, right? So, okay, Sharon, love you too, sweetheart. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, so you can turn around and now dry brush the original color. That can be so frustrating when technology isn't doing what you want it to do. So then you can get all that. But I want to show you a real whitewash. A real whitewash. Okay, so I'm going to take, what you want to do is, you want to thin out your paint. You want to thin out your paint, so you got your nice white paint. And you want to thin it out. So you add a little water to it. Or you just leave your brush nice and damp, which is even easier. Hello, Bonnie. How you doing, sweetheart? Bonnie's here. Yeah, you don't want to be painting with Bonnie. You're amazing. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Oh, I got like a little flower with that and everything. You're awesome, sweetheart. Yeah, mayonnaise isn't white paint, Dee. It's not white paint, honey. You got to be careful of that. I wouldn't use any white paint, but painting would be useful for old barns, farmhouses, covered bridges. Yes, all of that good stuff, Sue. 6,000%. 6,000%. Some like the white, some don't. Some just like the wood colors. It's all personal preference, really. Okay, but see how that's looking like siding on the side of a board now? Because we have the dark up here, and then we have the lighter distressed look to it. So it's looking money. Money, baby. All right, so a whitewash. I have my brush in water. Okay, so my brush is in water. And, you know, I'm letting it drip. I'm doing a little tap. And then I'm just going to go like this to make sure it's not drippy, drippy, drippy. All right, but I want extra water in my brush. Okay, so I'm just going like this, making sure all the drippy drip, like it's not dripping, but it's extra wet. And now I'm going to grab my white paint. Okay, and it's going to be all extra, extra, extra wet. And I'm going to, and my brush had brown in it, so this is going to do something, let's see what happens. Okay, so, and then you can just sweep across. you can just sweep across with your brush being extra, extra, extra wet, and it's going to give you the whitewash look. So there's a couple different ways to do it. You can do it with the dry brush method, or you can do it with the extra, 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 extra wet brush. So now that I have this on here, right, I'm pressing a little hard because I'm running out of paint. It's hiding up in my brush. So now I'm going to wipe my brush off, and I'm going to grab some water with it like I did before, and I'm going to go over this. I'm going to go over this with just the water now. And this way you get a true whitewash. And another trick you can do is when it's wet like that, you can take a dry paper towel and kind of do a rub over it. So you do a rub over it, and bam, you got a whitewash board where most of the whitewash is coming off. But you can still see the different colors of the wood underneath it. See how you can see the darker here and the lighter there, and the darker here and the lighter there, and the more red right there. So that's another little effect that you can do. So everybody has a preference. Dry brushing, whitewash. You could actually grab your, now that we're on paper towel, you could actually grab your wet white right here. You can dab it in some paper towel, and you could put it on that way. See? So you could do that, and then the more you smush it and rub, the more it'll spread out. So you can do it that way too if you want to. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. So the loose paint on my paper towel, I'm putting it on, and then I'm kind of just going back and forth with it. Okay, and you can do it that way too. So whatever your personal preference is, it's all up to you guys. 6,000%. So the next thing I want to show you is putting in very prominent wood grain. All right. So everything I showed you right now is just how to get it looking like one board's on top of the other, or maybe it has the slats in it, whatever your preference is. And I'm showing you how to do the different surfaces. So now I want to show you how to do the actual wood grain, okay? So we're going to move to, I'm going to grab Big Boy, and let's do it on this board, because this board is like the closest one that stayed to the wood color. Okay, so we're going to go on this board. I'm giving you a close-up. I like the purity of natural wood straight from the tree. Me too, Sue. So if you don't want to do the whitewashes, you just stick to the brown tones. Okay, so I'm grabbing Big Boy, swirl, tap, dab like normal. We're going to go in here, and we're going to turn around and give Sue, hello, Pat. How you doing, sweetheart? We're going to give Sue her natural wood tones that she appreciates. So we're going to come in here, and we're going to do our natural wood color. Notice how I'm sweeping. Everything is sweeping. Everything is a small amount of paint and sweeping. Okay, small amount of paint and sweeping. Okay, and if you just want it to be slats, you don't do that big dark shadow. You just have the shadow where your line is. Okay, guys, see how this automatically became like slatted wood and not a shingle? See how this one looks like it's laying over the top of that one because I have such a big shadow line? But then since I just got rid of the shadow line, this looks more like they're both on the same level. You just have that crease in the center of them. So that's the difference between those two things, okay? So if you want it to just look like slatted boards, you don't have that big of a shadow underneath it. All right, so this obviously looks like siding, and this looks like it's on the same level because it's just the line of shade. All right, so I'm going to lighten this up a little bit. So I'm going to grab my yellow and my white and my brown, and let's get a nice coat on here. Again, leaving everything separated on my brush, so as I sweep, you get all this cool stuff happening and you don't even have to work for it. And then you can do like a little zigzag zoom, do a nice little sweep. Okay, so now that I have this on here, I want to show you wood grain. All right, I got a chunk. Let's get the chunk off of here. I don't know where that chunk came from. So I'm going to grab Mini Me. Mini Me is a small shader brush. And let me grab a good Mini Me. Hold on. It's in my other cup. Oh, you know what I need help with, guys? All right, so while we're doing this, I need your help. I need your help. Okay, so everyone, I've been posting those little mini videos, right? Those TikTok tidbit videos. I post them on my page too, so you guys can get a little flavor for it. I know some of you aren't on that app, and that's okay. I need ideas. I can't, I'm having creator's block, and I can't think of anything to do as a tidbit. Now, keep in mind, I only have 6 minutes to paint whatever the tidbit is. And I need ideas on what can I paint for the tidbit. So, I got Mini Me, I'm grabbing some black, and I'm grabbing some of my base brown. I'm going to do a dab. Now that's way too dark. Yes, simple stuff. Oh, a bird. Okay, simple bird. I like that, Tina B. That works. I'm going to write that one down. Alright, I got you on that one. Okay, so that's a little too dark. You want it to be darker, but you do not want it to be black. You want it to be just a darker version of the base coat. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Alright. Yes, I've done some flowers, Diane. I've done a rose, I've done a sunflower, I've done a daisy. So now what you want to do is you want to, and see how it's really close to the wood color there? So you're just going to turn around and put in this line. And then you could turn, and then you could put in some more of these lines. So I'm really just zigzag zooming this darker color on here. And I'm muffled now. Flowers, fences. Okay, so we got flowers, a fence. Okay, got that. Rocks. Rocks are a little tricky. I don't know if I can do a rock in 6 minutes. Okay, so I got this darker paint. It's just a hair darker than the wood color. Okay, and you're just going to do these little zigzag zooms. Okay, my sound's okay? All right, good, because I didn't touch nothing. You're just going to do these little zigzag zooms throughout your wood. And I'm holding my brush flat, and then close up, what you need to do is then you soften it. Then you soften it. Okay, you soften it. See how I'm softening the line and having it blend into the wood more? And it's up to you, how prominent do you want this to be? So, different types of grass. Like, okay, I can do something like that. Grass, okay. So it's up to you. Now, it's a building thing. So now that I have the color that's close to my wood, now I can play with making something darker. And you want to use the smallest amount of paint. And I'm going to switch to a Mr. Nifty. So those of you that don't know, I give nifties away for free. Anybody who sends support. I don't know what's going on. You guys can't hear me? I didn't press nothing. I didn't hit nothing. Hi, Irene. Hello, 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 sweetheart. I didn't touch nothing. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I hope you guys can hear me. Hi, Irene. So, everybody sees me bent over right now. Just you, Tina? Okay. All right, so I'm going to grab Mr. Nifty, and I'm going to grab darker. I got to do this quickly because this has to stay wet. I'm going to grab the black with the brown, and you can hear me. Okay, good. So I'm going to grab the black with the brown, and I'm going to go in one of my lines here. And again, I'm going to zigzag zoom, and I'm holding my brush flat. So I get those little pieces that are thicker than the other. I'm just holding my brush flat like this, putting it onto the canvas flat. And then it makes all those little things happen. Alright, now I'm going to take the shader brush, and you just want to zigzag zoom. You just want to zigzag zoom and soften that out. And now I'm going to take my original color to make it really prominent. I'm going to take my original color and zigzag zoom that in, the lighter color. And then you have, right, so it's all softening. It's all softening. I'm softening, softening, softening. And then this way, you have the wood grain. See that? So this was just the brown, and all I did was do zigzag, jagged zooms, and then you soften. And then this, if you want it to be a deeper crease, you can add the dark to it. So you want to build up the dark slowly, just like we do everything else. So let me do another one of those again, because we were kind of distracted with ideas and sound. All right, Nifty, black and brown. Putting it on the dark line that I already made. Okay? Mini-me. I'm going to go along that line, and I'm going to soften it out. Okay? Now, I'm going to grab my original color. Put that on there. And then this way, this little piece looks very, 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 very prominent. See that? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a second to catch up on that. I got to do all the ideas. I got to write these all down that you guys sent me. All right, a bee. Okay, I already did a butterfly. So we got a bee, and I got, meadow or beach scene. I did the ocean, beach. I did a rough ocean already, and looks really pretty, right, Irene? So that is how you would do the wood grain. Now, if you guys have any questions, 6,000% ask them now, because the last thing I want to show you is how to make a knot. And a knot is following the same concept as the grain, except you're bending your lines even more, okay? So I'm going to take Big Boy. And I'm going to grab my original base coat here and get a nice wet spot for me so I can blend. Okay. And you could also turn around, like where you put your grain, like you could take your big brush like this, and you can kind of like do a little zigzaggy zoom action going on and soften those even more. Okay, so you can do like a little zigzag zoom underneath all this grain you just put in. See? And then So it's all personal preference on like how you want it to be. So I just made this nice wet spot for myself, and it's gonna wind up drying before I get to do what I want to do. Because I'm getting distracted with other things that you guys could do. All right, so we got that there. I'm gonna grab Mini Me, and I'm gonna grab my darker paint. No, actually, let's grab Nifty, because then we could blend. So I got Nifty, and I'm gonna grab my darker paint. Like I said, it's a building thing. And what you want to do is you have the center of your knot. So I do like a little squiggly like that. Okay? And then you have your pieces leading into that. So I have my little squiggly like that. And then I'm just going to do a little soften. Okay, just a little soften. Alright? Like I said, this is a building thing, so we're going to do a little soften around it. Grass. Thanks, Helen. Yep, grass. Did I write grass? I think I wrote grass. Alright, now I want to do the lines. So I got Nifty on deck and Mini Me, okay? So now you want to do the lines leading into it. So then you just turn around and you put that line in. And then you soften. Okay? And then you soften. And grab more paint. And I'm going to put this going like around it and then through like that. And then you soften. See, so like I said, you have to do this while your paint is still wet. So you can put these pieces in here. Cat and nine tails. I don't know what that is, Pat. What's a cat and nine tails? Okay, so then I'm going to do another little piece leading into it with a little arch. Soften that. Alright, and then you just keep building outwards. And then I'm going to do another piece right here, going around like that. And soften that piece. And grab more paint, and I'm going to do another piece that's in here going around it like that. Soften that piece. Okay, and put another little line in here leading up to it. Do another little round piece right there leading into it. Soften. Okay, so once I do all that, I'm going to swirl, tap, dab my brushes. Get them all nice and clean. The thing by the water that looks like corn dogs. Oh! Yes! The punks. I call them punks. Anybody else call them punks? I call those punks. Yeah, the little beach reeds with the hot dog on the end. Tina, you speak of my language, girl. You speak of my language. Beach reeds and punks. Oh, I could do a seagull. A seagull will work because they're pretty easy. And I could do a duck. A duck will work. And all right. So now that that's set in, now we can build upon it. So what I want to do is I want to get it a little darker, a little more prominent. So I'm going to take the Nifty and I'm going to grab just black now. And I'm going to come in here. Can you guys see this okay? Close up. Close up. There we go. That's a little bit better. Alright. So now I got just black paint. And here, there, not everywhere, guys. Here, there, not everywhere. I'm going to put in these little pieces of the darker paint. And then you can just literally just soften with doing a little dab with your finger. Okay? So, because you don't want this to get away from you. Alright, and then I'm going to put a little darker piece in there, do a little dab. And like I said, here, there, not everywhere. And you're just going to make some of this, you know, you work so hard to get this knot in your wood, you want to show it off a little bit, right? You want it to be a little prominent. So, that seems to be the word of the night, prominent. It's a good word, right? so you want it to show more. Okay, and I didn't grab any more paint either. I'm using the same amount of paint on this nifty. So like I said, small amounts of paint, small, 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 and here, there, not everywhere. And then the thing that you could do, I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. Now the thing that I can do is I'm going to grab a tiny. I'm going to grab a tiny that's a little bit fluffy, and I'm going to grab my original color. Alright, so I'm grabbing that original brown color, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to do a little bit of zigzag zoom action here and there to kind of tighten this up a little bit, clean it up a little bit, not everywhere, here and there, okay, just to kind of get it a little cleaner, just a little cleaner, not a lot, just a little, okay, and add this in here and go around, you know, do like maybe right there, right, clean up the lines a little bit, do underneath a little bit here, right, soften, you know, so here, there, not everywhere, just kind of giving it a little cleanup, that's all. And you can give it a little highlight if you want. I can grab a little bit of white with the brown, right, a little bit of white with the brown, and I can give it a little bit of a highlight, like right here, blend that out. Okay, so this is how you would do a knot, right? Easy peasy, guys. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So I put the white with my original brown, put a little bit of that on the top part, and grabbing the white with the original brown, maybe right in here, swoop, right in that piece. Put a little bit of a highlight on that, blending, 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 soft, 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 all that good stuff. And maybe right in here, swoop, right, put a little bit of a highlight, soften it out. Okay, guys, so that is how you achieve a knot in your wood grain. 6,000%. There you go. Okay, guys, so I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this. Creating wood, making things look like wood is it's a lot of fun to do. It's very hard, like messing it up. Like if you get a glob somewhere, just let it dry and then soft brush it out. It's not a big deal. Some of you, I hoped you liked the dry brushing technique. Then there was the whitewash technique. You know, now you know how to do the wood grain. Basically, you just put in the darker line, grab your original color, put it underneath it, soften, 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 and then you get wood grain. Now you know how to do a knot. Knots are a lot of fun. They look really, really cool. You can turn around and make it look like siding, having a larger shadow. You can make it look like planks, where you just have the thin, darker line. Don't overmix your paint. That'll give you the separation of color without even trying. And all that happy stuff. You guys got this. You can totally do this. 6,000%. So Friday is Friday the 13th. I'm working on the painting for next Friday. I think you guys are going to love it. I think you're going to like it a lot. I'm putting together more brush kits, so if anybody would like a brush kit, please message me. 6,000%. I always use the same brushes every video, so if you want to use what I'm using, there you go. Thank you so much for hitting the stars. Everybody that sent me stars, you're amazing. I really, really appreciate it. All warms my heart. I also had Venmo. I gotta do my sign, Bonnie. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, all of that happy stuff. So, yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun with this. It's a lot of fun to do. I really have fun when I'm painting wood. So it's just because it's you can just get really, 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 really creative with it, and you'll be okay. So let's do a little bit of roll call. And I got all your ideas written down for my tidbits. So thank you guys for that. You guys are amazing. My family helping me out, supporting me. And I just want to thank Becky and Cynthia, my two Tinas. Love you guys. And Carolyn and Cindy and Donna and Helen, Lisa V, Diane, Sharon, Susan, Sue, Bonnie, Pat, and Irene for joining me tonight. 6,000%. Did you have fun? Did you like this one? Nice, easy peasy lemon squeezy, right guys? Yes, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Details. Oh no, the details. Yeah, but the details aren't hard. They're not hard, Tina. You just swipe with your small brush and then take your other brush and soften it out. That's all. That's all you gotta do. 6,000%. That's all you have to do. There's nothing very tricky about it. And now you guys can do your sides of your houses. You can do your fences. You can turn around and do a canvas like this and put a saying on it. You know, you could always make like a welcome sign and then put maybe a little, some wildflowers on it. Thank you so much, Gloria. And there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of hi Tina B's hubby, hi. Lots and lots and lots and lots of things you can do having a wood grain. And then, you know, you could do this going up and down too. So that's what you want to remember. And if you want it to look like a side of a house, you put a bigger shadow. If you want it to look like slats, thinner shadow. Wood grain, it's not as tricky as it looks. It's really not. You guys got this. 6,000%. So thank you so much everybody for joining me. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight. So I'll see you guys on Friday the 13th. And I like it a lot too. And I'll be posting next Friday's painting real soon, because I'm going to work on that as soon as I hit the end button. And anybody watching the replay, bye. Anybody watching the replay, if you have any questions, please ask me. Just message me. Everything's messaging me. Night, 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 Lisa V. Good night, Diane. So thank you so much. Y'all warm my heart, and have fun and go create. Okay? Night, everybody.